Back. So our today topic is foundation of curriculum. What is foundation of curriculum? That the foundation are the forces that influence the mind of curriculum developers. Like those who develop the curriculum, they force to influence their mind so they can easily develop the curriculum. In this way, these affect the content and structure of the curriculum. Obviously, जितना उसका माइंड जो है डेवलपर का माइंड जो है वो इन्फ्लुएंस हुआ होगा तो उतना ही करिकुलम के कंटेंट के ऊपर अफेक्ट आएगा नाउ major foundation of curriculum and it includes the philosophical foundation. So it deals with the nature of knowledge, reality and values that underline education. The next is psychological foundation. So it focuses on how learners acquire knowledge, skills, and attitude, and the role of motivation, learning style, and cognitive processes. The next is psychological foundation, sociological foundation. So it examines the social context of education, including cultural norms, social structure, and power relationship that influence curriculum design. The next is economic foundation. It considers the economic factors that impact curriculum, such as resource allocation, funding models, and the role of education in the working force. The next is historical foundation. It analyzes the historical development of curriculum, including the influence of past educational movement, reforms, and societal trends. So these foundations intersect and influence one another, shaping the curriculum and informing educational decisions. There are philosophical foundation that it concern with the belief that what is real. We can say that ontology, like ontology. Ontology is the branch of philosophy that deal with the nature of the existence, being, and reality. It involves the study of what exists, like how things exist and the relationship between them. So, in essence, ontology seeks to answer the fundamental questions such as what is the nature of reality, what exists, what is the relationship between mind and world, what is the nature of time, space, and causality. So, ontology is a crucial aspect of various fields, including philosophy, science, artificial intelligence. It has implication for how we understand the world, ourselves, and our place within the universe. The next is epistemology. What is true? So, for this, we can say that epistemology is the branch of philosophy that deal with the nature, sources, and limits of knowledge. It involves the study of how we acquire knowledge, what constitutes knowledge, and how we can be certain of our knowledge claims. So, epistemology explores the questions such as uh, what is knowledge, or how do we acquire knowledge, or what is the sources of knowledge, like sense experiences, reason, and the next is how can we distinguish between true and false beliefs. So these are the different types of epistemology, and it include rationalism, like emphasis reason as a primary source of knowledge. Constructivism means emphasis that knowledge is constructed through social and cultural processes. So epistemology has implication for various fields, including science, philosophy, education, and artificial intelligence. The next is what is good are the axiology. So it is a branch of philosophy that deal with the study of values, value judgment, value system. It involves the examination of what is good, bad, right, wrong, beautiful, ugly, and other value-laden concepts. So, exology explores questions such as what is value, how are values determined, what are the different type of value, for example moral, aesthetic or economic, and how do we value relate to each other and to other philosophical concepts. So there are different type of exology including moral exology. It focuses on moral values and principle. Aesthetic exology, which focuses on artistic and beauty related values. The next is that we can say exology has implication for various fields including ethics, morality, politics, economic, and education. So these are the different belief of the philosophical foundation. Now there are particular philosophies of education like idealism, the first systematic philosophy in Western thought, like Socrates and Plato, has a Socratic method was dialogue, like a generic notation. Philosophers often pose abstract questions that are not easily answered but are concerned with the search for truth and what word of matter in constant state of flux. Senses are not to be trusted, continually deceive us. So truth is perfect and eternal, but not found in the word of matter, only through the mind. Now, idealism. So the only constant for Plato was mathematics that is unchangeable and eternal. So Plato's mind of dialogue engaged in systematic logical examination of all point of view, so ultimately leading to agreement and a synthesis of ideas. This approach known as dialectic. So Plato believed education helped move individual collectively toward achieving the good. The state should be involved in education, moving brighter students toward abstract ideas and the less able toward collecting data. So a gender-free tracking system. So those who were brighter should rule, others should assume a role to maintain the state. So the philosopher king would lead the state to the ultimate good. So evil comes through ignorance, like education will lead the obliteration of the evil because they are more aware. More modern idealists like Augustine, Descartes, Kant, and Hegel. So the goal of education, like interested in the search of truth through ideas. With truth comes a responsibility to enlighten others. So education is transformation. Ideas can change the life of people. Role of the teacher. In this, they analyze, discuss ideas with students so that they can move to the new level of awareness, so they can easily ultimately be transformed. Like a teacher के साथ students कोई भी डिस्कशन करते हैं कोई भी आइडियाज को लेके तो वो इजीली मूव कर सकते हैं वो अवेयर हो सकते हैं क्योंकि एक मोर मेच्योर पर्सनालिटी के साथ एक स्टूडेंट जब डिस्कशन करता है तो वो एक थॉरली उस चीज को अ, जान जाता है सो they can easily do what they want. Abstraction dealt with through the dialectic, but should aim to connect analysis with action. Now, role of the teacher is to bring out what is already in the student's mind, like they polish that what they want to do and what is in their mind, though, so they can easily bring out methods of instruction. Now, lecture from time to time, but primary method of teaching is the dialectic. Discuss, analyze, synthesize, and apply what they have read to contemporary society. So, curriculum importance of the study is of the classics. Many supports a back up to the basics approach of education. Realism. In this, the Aristotle was the leading proponent of realism. Started the Lyceum, the first philosopher to develop systematic theory of logic. So, generic notion only through studying the material world is it possible to clarify or develop ideas. Matter is real, independent of ideas. The Aristotle's systematic theory of logic here began with the empirical research, speculate or use dialectic reasoning and culminate in a syllogism. So a syllogism is a system of logic that consists of three parts. The first is a major premise, the second is a minor premise, and the third is a conclusion. In this, for all the syllogism to work, all the parts must be correct. Philosophers concerns what is good life and what is the importance of reason, moderation of in all the things like a balance in leading one's life, reason in the instrument to help individual achieve balance and moderation. Realists. Reason is the means of ascertaining or understanding the truth. God could be understood through reasoning based on the material world, no conflict between science and religion. So the word of faith with the word of reason. Realism. From the Renaissance, Francis Bacon developed induction like the science method. Based on Aristotle developed a method starting with observation, culminating in generalizations tested in specific instances for the purpose of verification. So, in this, they things known from experience, ordered since data, and then reflected on them. Contemporary realists tend to focus on philosophy and science, like Alfred North Whitehead, concerned with the search for universal pattern. In this day, Bertrand Russell with Whitehead Principia Mathematica, universal pattern could be verified and classified through mathematics. Goal of education for realists in this notion of the good life, truth, beauty could be answered through the study of ideas using the dialectical method for contemporary realists. The goal of education is to help individuals understand and apply the principle of science to help solve the problems plaguing the modern world. So teachers should be steeped in the basic academic disciplines. There is a pragmatism. In this, an American philosophy from the 19th century, Dewey, in this day, by their fruits ye shall know them. So, pragmatism encourages people to find processes that work in order to achieve their desired ends, action oriented, experientially grounded. So, Rousseau back to nature, environment, and experience. John Dewey. In this day, intellectual hire of Charles Darwin, constant interaction between organism and environment, dynamic and developing the world, child-centered progressivism, and social reconstructionism. So, in instructionism and experimentalism, pragmatic relationship between school and society, and apply ideas of education on an experimental basis. Education starts with the need and interest of the child, allow the child to participate in planning her course to study, employ project method or group learn, depend heavily on experimental learning. Children are active, organic beings in needing both the freedom and responsibility. So ideas are not separate from the social condition. Philosophy has a responsibility to society. The role of the teacher in this, they note the authoritarian but the facilitator encourages, offer suggestions, questions, and help learn and implement courses to study. His command for several disciplines. In this, the inquiry method, problem solving, integrated curriculum. Aim of education to educate the rational person to cultivate the intellect. A role of education is this teacher helps students think with reason. Focus in the curriculum, the classical subject, literary analysis, and curriculum constant. Curriculum trends used to use of great books and return to liberal. Aim of education to promote the intellectual growth of the individual and educate a competent person. The role of education in this, the teacher is the sole authority in his or her subject area or field of specialization. Focus in the curriculum, essential skill of the 3 R's and essential subjects. Curriculum trends excellence in education back to basics and cultural literacy. Progressivism. In this, the aim of education to promote democratic and social living. Role of education like knowledge lead to growth and development of lifelong learner who actively learn by doing. Focus in the curriculum in this subject are interdisciplinary, integrative, and interactive. So curriculum is focused on student interest, human problem and affairs. Curriculum trends, school reforms, relevant and contextualized curriculum, humanistic education. Reconstruction, Reconstructionism. In this, the aim of education is to improve the reconstruct society, education for change. A role of education, teachers act as agent of change and reform in various educational projects, including research. Focus in the curriculum to focus on present and future trends and issues of national and international interest. Curriculum trends, equality of educational opportunities in education, access to global education. Psychological foundation, like psychology is a scientific study of human behavior. It gives insight into child development, learning, inquiry techniques, educational objectives, student characteristics, learning process, teaching method, evaluation procedures. So all these we already discussed in the previous lectures as well. Sociological foundation. So sociology is a study of social relationship, institution, and society. It includes value of society, media explosion, new form of cooperation in culture, etc. Foundation. It focuses on job or market-oriented curriculum, skill learning. Historical foundation. It includes the role of curriculum in achievements of nation, guide future plan, factor that influence development of nation. For example, unity, eliminate the useless tradition. Thank you for your time.